Podcasting from the great United Kingdom to all young families everywhere. On family finance, investments, and side income, we bring you real stories, heartful inspirations, and life-changing journeys on how we can explore beyond the 9-to-5 job and make more money and time for our family. This is your one crazy father with 3 jobs a day. He's an engineer by day, self-taught investor by lunch, and a writer by night. Please welcome Dr. Alex Koh.
Hello and good day. This is Alex Koh, the father with 3 jobs. Welcome to episode number 4. I'm waving at the camera there. So episode number 4, it's no guest, it's just myself. And the topic of today is me speaking about 7 steps on how I achieved the status of father with 3 jobs. 7 steps on how I managed to brand myself, how I came together, pushing myself and this brand forward for myself, the company, and the future ahead. So 7 steps. But before that, let me get back to the origin, to where I first started, where it all began. So I would say is I came to Aberdeen in 2007. I finished my PhD, my master's. I've done everything. I've always focused on wanting to be an oil and gas engineer, and I did it. 2007, great company, one of the top 3 companies, I'm not going to mention the name, offered me a job. I moved up here. Fantastic. Lifelong dream achieved. Ticked in the box. Huge tick in the box. And ever since 2007, I stopped learning. I thought I knew everything. I stopped learning. It's all about I started reading random things. When my child was born, I started reading random things. I learned more about health. I learned about running. Seriously, age 32, learning about running. Going to gym was expensive. I can't afford gym now. I had to cancel membership fees. I had to save about that £150. I had to just make sure I saved £150 so I can save it away on a rainy day. I started reading about the science of running. How can a man run a 4-minute mile? I'm not a great runner. I still completed 2 marathons. When my daughter was 3 and 4, completed 2 marathons from nobody, from you know zero to hero. And I started reading about technology. Started reading about the financial crisis in 2007. Started reading about politics, the Brexit, the American politics, the Japanese monetary policy. I started reading about history. I relearned history again. History never changed, but I relearned it from a different perspective. Learn about philosophy. Learn about the French Revolution, in the 16th, 17th century. Learn about the Japanese history. Learn about the American Civil War. I started learning things again. I started learning things and understanding things again. Opened up my mind, and then things started gelling together. I started seeing how I could understand the politics, how they influence the economic of Brexit UK. I start seeing and understood how the interest rates were going, how the rates were impacting my personal finance, how the Chinese economy was influencing uh, the Singaporean currency, because my parents have got Singaporean currency. That's what they earn. I can advise them on that. And then I started understanding the way the Chinese Communist government worked, and how the French Revolution influenced the way the 18th century of the overthrowing of the Chinese emperor. Started learning and understanding things. Started opening up, reading different books. And the best thing of all, go to the library. Library's got full, plenty of free books. When was the last time you've been to the library? Me, the man of 32, going to the library, I was like a kid, going, oh, free books. I can hold this book. I can borrow this book for 2 weeks. As long as we return before 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't get fined. My kids were going there. We were going to the library once a month, borrowing books, returning books. Great place. Last time I've been to the library was when I was a teenager. Great. Libraries are great. Free books, free content, free newspapers. Go on. Give it a go. Give it a go. So step one is to be open-minded, make sure you listen, and the willingness to learn. That's the first barrier you have to break. You have to relearn things again. Just because you've got PhD, 30, 40, 50 years experience doesn't mean you stop learning. You have to open up your mind. So much to learn. So much to learn in the world out there. And number two, then I started trying different things. Okay, number two, step two, I call it laser focus objective. You have to put an objective. You have to take actions now. Just because you read, you need to make actions. So what I did was I started taking action. I started investing, and I started writing. So job two, job three started. Some people, you might be a teacher, but you like health. Oh, good example. There was a lady that ran the London Marathon. She's a radiographer by day, but she loves running, and she became an elite runner and started running for her club, for the country. Nothing stops her. She likes being healthy. She likes eating healthy. She likes running. Bam! Put your focus on, laser focus what you want to do, and became an elite runner. You know, you might be a teacher who likes snowboarding. You might be a snowboarding champion. You need to laser focus. You need to take actions, not just reading and make it. You might be a writer. You might be an artist. You might be a song composer. Who knows? There's always a hidden skill, but you just have to laser focus your objectives. You need to pick one side and start moving along. Action speaks louder than words. Okay? Be better than the people you learn from. Just because you learn it from somebody, you have to be better than the person you learn from. You may be a student today, but you might be a teacher tomorrow. So learn to be a good teacher, not a good student. And then enjoy the journey. I'm enjoying my journey. I come home from work happy. I'm tired. Coming home from work, 5, I still play with my kids. everything's going to fall. All the hard we work for is going to fall, vanish. All your followers are going to leave. Alex, no one's going to come to mumuku.com no more. Nobody's going to listen to this podcast no more. It's all going to fall. All your hard work just going to be, all the trust just broken in 1 second. So keep it consistent. And moving on to the next one. Step number 6. Step number 6 is something new I've discovered in the last 6 months. It's called unapologetic and be thick-faced. Seriously. Unapologetic and be thick-faced. What do I mean by that? You know, you've worked hard to get somewhere. You've worked hard to be a swimmer. You've worked hard to be a runner. You've worked hard to be a great chef. Don't just do it with closed doors. Tell people about it. Share people. Tell people that what you're doing. Tell people that you might be a teacher, but you've got passion for baking cakes. Tell people about it. That I'm a great chef. I like baking. I like sharing. Do you want to try my recipe? I want your feedback. Try to share. When I first started, I was shy. I was going, I'm not going to tell people I've got no MBA for finance. I'm not going to tell people. But I'm making lots of money on stocks and shares. I'm starting to understand foreign currencies. I'm going to share. I'm going to tell people. That's why I write. So I can reach the world. People can come and give me feedback, positive, negative. At least I'm moving on. So be unapologetic and be thick-faced. But tell people. The thing that surprises you, surprises me, is when I walk on the streets, when I speak to people that I know, people I've not seen for ages, they start opening up to me. They start talking about different things, no longer about engineering work or projects. They start talking about finance. We start talking about politics. We start talking about running. We start talking about property investment in foreign countries. We start talking about different things. I started knowing that person, man, woman, more. We're opening up conversation. We're becoming better friends, better acquaintances from previous. So that's why be unapologetic and be thick-faced. Tell people, share with people what you do. Some people might not listen, then fine, move on. Speak to someone else. Always out to tell people, don't hide it. Unless you're a spy for the MI5, that's a different story. But you have to sell yourself. You have to learn how to sell yourself. You have to learn how to share. Okay, that's step number 6. To reinvent yourself, you have to do it. And step number 7, which I think is the most important one, because step number 7 keeps you on your feet every single day. Step number 7, I call it, remember your reasons for doing it. Okay, the days when I failed so miserably, an article that I couldn't got rejected in a popular forum or for popular publisher. The days where one of my stocks crashed and I just want to give up. The days where you just want to give up. On a Friday morning, thought, I'm not going to do this. Wake up on Saturday morning. I'm not going to do this no more. I give up. No, I give myself the reason for doing it. For me, it's my family. My kids love what I do. They enjoy the fact that I'm doing more videos, digital marketing. My daughter even opened her own YouTube channel. She suggested it. Said, Daddy, I want my own YouTube channel as well. So it improves her public speaking. Yeah, she's a great public speaker, by the way. Very charismatic. Better than me. And my son helps me with the music. He helps me the podcast voiceover. He did it for episode 1. And he's doing his music. He says, Daddy, I think we need to try this music sometimes. So he's only 5, so he's enjoying it. And most importantly, my wife, she's a huge supporter. She's advocate. She's always there supporting me, giving me new ideas. She's not gonna go and say, oh, why are you doing this? She gives me time. She shares with me moments where she read something in this newspaper and thought might be useful. She cut the clippings, give it to me. Such a huge supporter. I cannot ask for more. And my mom and dad as well. Despite the fact that they know so little about finance and politics, but they're so supportive there. They always try their best to listen to listen to my my podcasts or my videos and try to speak and chat with me. Great, Really enjoy this. Really enjoy this journey. So every time I feel not wanting to wake up the next day to continue, I just remember the reasons for doing it, and I just keep pushing, and to get the way I am today. I've got big plans, but I always remember what I'm doing this for. So going back and recapping, that's the end. Step 7 is the end of advice how I became the father of 3 jobs. So step one is open-minded, willingness to listen, willingness to learn. You have to break down barriers. You have to feed the brain. You have to feed your brain before you can move on. You have to keep learning. It doesn't matter how old you are, you still have to keep learning. Where you're from, you have to keep learning. And besides, we got Google and everything on the internet now. You don't even have to speak about a professor about a topic, or speak to a financial advisor about a topic. You can Google anything. You find anything. You just have to be smart enough to pick up the right content. So step number 2, laser focus your objectives. You just have to take actions. You cannot just learn, but you have to take actions. You can learn about the art of baking cakes, wedding cakes. You have to baking cakes and selling them and see where you go. You might need to learn about sales. You might need to learn about marketing. It's so much to learn. You have to eventually start something. Be better than the people learn from. Laser focus. Be a good teacher, not a good student. And step number 3, networking. Like I said, 2019, one of the best era for networking. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to wear a shirt and tie. You go to an event, network. You can speak to people that you want to learn more from. Share. People want to learn more from you. That's why you write a blog and people come to you. So step 3, networking. Step 4, time management. You make sure that you got a plan. It doesn't matter. You might be a person with a book. You might be a person with an iPad Pro. You might be a person with something. But you have to time manage. You have to keep a plan right. You have to keep a plan. Trust me. No plan is going to go in tangent. And step number 5, eat, sleep, and repeat. Consistency. Remember the toothbrush theory. Number 6, be
listening. We appreciate your time